Did you infiltrate?
Yeah.
He could have did it, but that's the beauty of the Straw Hats. Everybody's got their own shit going on, and they blow in and fuck everything up for everybody. That's every arc, and that's why it's so beautiful. Like,
That's fair. The world doesn't go down.
2-year mission. I get there. I'm a Topi Ropo. I'm right there at the line. I'm invited to the party. What's up, everybody? This is the Grand Line Gazette. It's been a while since we had like a fresh new episode with a fresh new arc and a fresh new start. Much like LBAF, we start a new chapter ourselves, and it is Sword Week, y'all. The anime is back. We're showing more members of Sword, so we are talking about Sword.
Yay.
We talked about Prince Groose not even last week, yesterday. Check that video. And today it is Kujaku. If you're unfamiliar, we are the Grand Line Gazette, your one true place for One Piece news and content. We do not subscribe to Big News Morgans. He's a hack. That's CJ right there. That is Tatted Kev. I'm Corey. We're here every day. You can check the playlist for episode reviews, manga reviews, discussions on character breakdowns, Blackbeard Pirates, we got it all. But let's get started. That's a minute. Got to a minute. Did a minute. All right.
Yeah.
Kujaku. Like I said, we're talking about the Sword members. All of the Sword members individually. We're
honorary.
We're trying to. Thanks. I almost forgot.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, keep going.
No, I got it. The Sword. The Sword members are, if you're unfamiliar, they just basically they were in the military and they wrote off their rights to having any kind of medals, any kind of honorary titles. Their names have been struck from the cord, but they are on a zero squad, kind of like a CP9, CP0 kind of thing, but. If they ever get caught up, it can't get traced back to the military. Today we are talking about Kujaku, the granddaughter of Suru, and one of the co-workers of Kobe.
Oh, yeah.
Soon to be Captain Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first impressions.
Isn't that Captain right now?
Well, whatever he is. She's
Go
a
ahead,
rear
go ahead.
admiral. What are your first impressions?
Dope that she outranks Kobe. Because Kobe's on the lower tier of the Marines and everything. Help Meppo's the bottom. But with her, she kind of comes in with a certain kind of authority. And she demonstrates that with her whip and with her fruit. Her personality comes across as she's always looking down on men or subordinates. Like, she doesn't really care for them because she's elevated herself to such a high position. First impression.
First impression, she gave me Miss Midnight vibes from My Hero.
Yeah.
Her power was kind of weird. I didn't understand it at first. I had to kind of deep dive into, like, she whips it and everything kind of jiggles and, like, it moves it as well. Kind of a weird ability. I don't know how she does in a fight. But I love how, like, she's abrasive toward everyone. And she kind of knows that she can kind of get her way with most pirates because they're simple-minded creatures.
Yeah. Speaking of My Hero, who is the one? What's her name? Stars and Stripes? She also reminds me of that. Because it's like, in order for her ability to take effect and for everything to move, she has to vocalize it. So I get this whole notion that she gives commands or has to touch something, and the whip's just her preference.
Very true. Could be true.
Oh, I know she got the whip fruit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whip, I mean, that could be like a trainer, like a tiger trainer.
There you go.
Whips the tiger to make it
There
do
you go.
something. So that could be very
But she
much.
has to give it the command like Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty. That's pretty
I
good.
can see her thing where it's like her ability is like I can make anything into a whip. You know what I mean? And my secondary ability is I can affect y'all. Maybe that's like her awakening with it. Like I can affect you guys in the surroundings. And then she's like, oh well, since I could do that, I'll just use a whip.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's
right.
That's a like
like after
pretty obvious
she's
like chain of thought. Yeah.
Yeah, like after she's awakened, like her fruit, we haven't seen it. Maybe it comes in the manga or anime later on, but we haven't seen her grab anything and turn that into the whip. You know what I mean? She didn't pick up a rock or a stick, and now she's using those properties to
We've seen
beat
her
you
pick
with.
up a sword and it kind of turns into a whip.
That's what
Okay,
her
I
whip
missed that.
is. I think is a sword.
Oh, I thought
Okay,
it was just. You're right. That makes more
that's
sense.
see, see,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
right there
it is a
recording because I'm just
sword.
trying to figure out when did she actually pick something up and turn it
Yeah,
into a whip? Because I'm thinking
it
she's just
kind of.
going based on
And I do like
awakening
how
now.
she has an uchi
What is
katana, so
that?
it's like one of the big katanas. So it's a pretty long whip when she makes it into a whip, and like those things are pretty sharp. So if she's
Yeah,
not like instructing something, she's cutting something. So that's
that
pretty
just increased
scary.
her stock for me.
This says it is a steel whip. So let's go back to that. It is that it is actually a whip. But I mean, I could see it being a sword and just like you said, put it on the
What
back,
if
and then
the
whenever I
steel
grab
part
it,
that
it
it's
The
turns into a
scab,
whip.
referencing
yeah,
is
the
the sword?
scabbard does make it look like a sword on her back in that
Yeah.
defense. But yeah. So she just has a whip, and like back to that thing where she's like, "Oh, I can just control things." I like that as an ability. I'll just do that instead. I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about turning things into whips.
Yeah, I have my go-to weapon. I've turned it into a whip. I unsheath it, and then
Plus, she
just
can
command
always that could
command.
be your sneak attack now. Like, pocket
Right.
sand. It's a whip.
He said,
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, uh,
so here's my thing. I love her backstory because it kind of leaves something to be wanted. As Corey said at the top, is she's the granddaughter of Admiral Suru, Vice Admiral Suru.
Yeah.
So what happened to the between there? What happened to the father or the daughter slash son? What I in my head canon, her and Dofi had a ongoing battle. So I mean something
Hmm.
like a one for all where she kind of puts her up for adoption so that she can't it can't be linked to her. Dofi can't
Oh
attach her.
shit.
oh, because Doflamingo is one of her foes. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
So
Yeah.
Dofi was
So
focusing on her family, so maybe like
so
he
she had
got
a
her son.
yeah.
And
That's a
made her
good
way
theory.
back.
I
That
don't
would be
know. That's how I'm
crazy.
Yeah,
feeling.
The way I
because
thought
it's
about
gonna
it
be
was
Dofi's psycho,
that
bro.
yeah. The way I thought about it was this is why I said they're all like honorary straw hats. Like you said,
Mhm.
like I guarantee like all these people are gonna be laughing and smiling for the most part. Even her, like if she like died, she'd be like smiling most like not like
Gotcha.
a D clan member, but my point
Sure.
being is like these people are like seeing these like for her grandma, very high ranking, very high notoriety. People always talk about him. I mean, real life stuff. LeBron and his kid, like LeBron's
Sure.
yeah.
like Bronny James's favorite basketball player ain't LeBron. You know what I mean? But like
Right.
she is in the same like she sees the same pure view as like you see Garp doing whatever he wants, and I think like Sword is like that chance for these Marines to do whatever they want and still be a hero. You know what I mean? Like I can
Yeah,
still go out
because
and like do like tangible good, and I don't have to actually like listen to y'all.
I can see what you're talking about. Because like even in real life, when you're at work, sometimes you get into one position, but you want another. To just go to the other and have the freedom, there's all of these checks and balances and red tape that you have to get across. Certain things have to be done. And to what you're saying, Corey, maybe sword is just the easy escape out. Like, oh, I can just do this and do what I want.
Yeah,
Like
because
I'm
it's
still affiliated.
like
Yeah.
my whole thing is like I don't want to be like a high ranking member in the Marines. That's not like my goal. I don't want to be like, you know, I don't want to be a captain. I don't want to command a fleet. I just kind of want to like help people. So we're going out and
Well,
doing missions to help people.
that's kind of like hard for me to swallow in particular, just because of the fact that she outranks Kobe by so much.
Well, I think
So good.
you have to prove yourself first. Like you got to be like on a mission. You got to be like, all right, this is somebody special. You know what I mean? They're like, hey,
Okay. Okay,
you
I see
just
where
won the
you're going
lottery.
now.
Like
Yeah.
you want to fucking take orders and push paperwork as a lieutenant to like somebody that just
Yeah.
graduated that's 10 years younger than you. No,
I hear you. I get you. I get you.
like he should easy
Kevin's
out to a
point,
fun time.
or Kevin's theory earlier about Tsuru giving the mom up, so then the mom then has Kujaku. I like that theory, Not just because it was like done in MHA, and I think that Oda can do it better, but I like it because there's a reason why she came back, and in my head, something hasn't been squared. Why did she advance so much? And Corey just answered that. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
she's trying to get to the stage where Garp is, where she can do what she wants. So you have to rise through the ranks. But again, why did you even come back? Where's your mom and where's your dad?
Yeah. I mean, if that happened,
So
or I mean, mom and dad just could be mom and dad. They could be old military members that were just in the military, just
agreed.
not like.
Agreed.
Not everybody
It-
relates
it-
to everybody. Gotta be crazy famous.
No, for sure. And at the
agreed.
same time, like she was chasing Dofi 13 years ago, Suru in this case. So
Mhm.
by that time, I mean Kujaku, she's like 20-ish. I'm gonna put her at the same age as Straw as Luffy, maybe.
Okay.
So 5-ish, 7, around that range.
Yeah.
So it's not like, yeah. It's
I just really
not
enjoyed that
impossible.
theory of yours, man.
I
I
just
like
like
that
I would
theory.
like them to explain why, like, is there a gap? To Corey's point, we will never find all the answers to all of our questions. But
Right.
Oda's a deep thinker. I'm excited to see what he does with it.
Yeah, as a rear admiral, she is pretty high on the list. I mean, Prince Groose is another rear admiral. Hina was another rear admiral, but I mean, other than her, we don't have too many people that are like too notable. But that's a pretty strong ranking. Under them are Commodores, then captains were Tashigi and Kobe are. And Shu,
That's
the
what I'm
Rust Rust.
saying. She just comes across as though she looks down at subordinates. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Because it's like you've advanced yourself to a certain position, but then you don't necessarily hide it. Like when you're around people. You know what I mean? It's not like you're playing this game where it's like, oh, I'm just in this position and I have to act this way. No, you really look down on people. And you're
Yeah.
like crass about it.
Her
She
whip's
does have a
name is
weird
Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Yeah.
She does have.
That's pretty
She
crazy.
does have
Just real quick, since we're talking about names of weapons, I just saw some gameplay of the Bleach game that they got coming out, and they had Korea, and he uses like Awakening. He said Mercy Alago. I was like, I forgot that shit was Mercy Alago. I was like, that is so cold. I don't know how to say it. Ulquiorra or whatever, the white
Yukiora.
Yukiora.
Espada.
Yeah.
Yukiora.
He said Mercy Alago. I was like, God damn, bro.
Dude, I'm telling the language thing that they got going on, where like the Espadas are all like Spanish names.
The Sternritter all German.
Quincy's, all German.
Italian. Yeah.
And then we got the new ones coming down for Italian for the Devils. Dude, Bleach got something for me. I like that. But back to
Beethoven.
Kujaku.
Yeah.
She also in the Vegapunk message, she also meets with X Drake, who is quote unquote the leader of S.W.O.R.D.
No, he just is the leader. Yeah, he started S.W.O.R.D, I guess.
Sure.
Which is which is crazy because it's like, okay, I'm the leader. Oh, I'm gonna go be a pirate for 2 years.
He was on orders. He was on orders.
I get that you were on orders, bro.
Sure.
I get that you're on orders. You're the leader. We just saw Kobe get joined. Kobe, Helmeppo, and Hibari just joined.
Yeah.
Why are we throwing Helmeppo in there?
just for the
Because
point.
when I was scrolling down, they were at the bottom. I was like, Helmeppo's at the. Oh, Hibari's there too. Yeah, that's
like
to be expected. But okay,
Helmeppo's Golem 1, Golem 2, Golem 3.
Point is,
personalities
this got to
and
be a Suicide Squad. This got to be a Suicide
I
Squad,
believe
or else
it
it would just have been him, Prince Groose, and Kujaku.
I believe it. I 100% believe it.
And that's cool, but their powers don't mesh.
But
Does Kujaku, speaking of powers, are her named attacks like based off of songs from Beethoven?
I think they're just whips.
Maybe it's because it makes people sing. I don't know.
Oh, that would be tight.
That's
if that's her like one-liner, like she's like whips it. She's like, "I love when this thing sings" or something like that. You're like,
oh, people are screaming.
So I mean,
but yeah, Corey's point that none of their powers mix.
None of their powers.
That's not the point. Was like just being like it has to be like a Suicide Squad. There has to be
Right.
a rotating captain, and the rotating captain has to just be the oldest person or the most veteran person on the Suicide Squad, because it's Drake was on a mission for 2 years at least.
Yeah.
Because he was just announced as a supernova, so we don't really know what's going on. Nobody knows what was going on before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I bet
Was his mission to be a failure as a pirate? Because
I want to
Got it.
hope that his mission was to infiltrate Kaido. But we'll talk more about that when we do the Drake video.
Yeah.
Because if that was his mission, if that was his only mission,
Failed.
I'm going to grade him a little different.
failed.
He became one of his, what are the... What's,
Toby Rope.
yeah, he became a Toby Ropo. So if as far as that mission goes...
I
Yeah,
mean,
like to Corey's point, if that was
C's
just a
get
mission.
degrees, baby.
That's-
C's
okay.
get degrees.
if,
But-
if,
you
our,
think-
if our point is that he was supposed to just become part of the crew, but nothing ever comes of it, like okay, if your mission is, hey,
But-
go take a vacation
but-
for 2 years,
But
and
Kev,
we're good.
that's what we're grading them on. Like, did you infiltrate?
Yeah.
He could have did it, but that's the beauty of the Straw Hats. Everybody's got their own shit going on, and they blow in and fuck everything up for everybody. That's every arc, and that's why
Yeah,
it's so
that's
beautiful.
fair.
Like,
That's fair.
The world
2 year
doesn't go
mission.
down.
2 year mission. I get there. I'm a Topi Ropo. I'm right there at the line. I'm invited to the party.
He's here, Luffy. Ah!
That's the beauty of One Piece. But I think we
Fuck
talked
you.
about Kujaku a lot. I mean, the fact that her powers, I like the fact that she used it on buildings, and even the buildings move, so inanimate objects
Yeah.
can move. Very interested
Yeah.
to see how that works. Very interested to see if she can control people. If Bello Betty, I always compare anybody with like control versus Bello Betty. Like if she
Really?
controls somebody, and then Bello Betty's like, no, like fucking speak up for yourself.
I think of
But that's
I
like
think
the
of
role,
Big Mom
like-
and the homies.
Hmm.
Like that's how kind of like the soul fruit. Like
Ooh,
you're
I'm glad you
giving
went-
command.
I think Bello
Oh,
Betty
right.
because it's like motivating yourself, or like
Mhm.
she
She
can
Inception.
the horror Nomi. All right, you know what I mean? Like the negativity thing. I was
Yeah.
actually listening to the Usopp video, and Chris is like, I wonder how that would work against Robin, since she also kind of was very
Yeah.
conscious and depressed.
Deprecating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Bello Betty could get somebody out of that. So you hate yourself, but she gets you out of that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
she tells you what to do, you're mind controlled, but Bello Betty gets you out of that.
Yeah. Dude, with Kujaku in particular, what is like something that you would like to see coming to give you more for her? Like for me in particular, I'm just trying to see more applications of her whip fruit if she doesn't have a sword. I just want to see that. I want to see more of her interactions with the rest of the sword members. Like I want to see the pecking order.
Actually, now that you say that, I don't have to see anything fight wise until like the final fights are a big fight now. I see everything. I think out of everybody who had like applied their powers, she used hers like the best in the shortest amount of time. Like, bam, got it. You know what I
she
mean?
was efficient.
Everything about you, I get it. The character, everything. I want to see you talk to your grandma. To Kevin's point, that's all I want to see now. I just want to see you talk to your grandma. Does she know about this? Does she support this?
She didn't know.
Which
She didn't know.
Yep.
Because
didn't
who was
know
it?
she-
Ina was rolled up on her. Goku.
when they were in the room and she
Yep.
walked up. and
Yep.
She's like,
And
"Where is
told her.
everybody?" They're like, "They're doing a Kobe mission." Yeah.
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah, she didn't know. So that conversation would be dope.
With Kujaku, my whole thing, because back to our original point is of this being a Suicide Squad. I'm looking at the squad. Diaz Drake was found same time that Law was on that island. He was the boy who was rescued while Law was losing Rosinante. So he kind of didn't have anything else to do. We don't know Gruz. We don't know Kujaku. We know Kobe's background where he kind of did also. He was. They wanted to. The main admiral wanted to murder this guy in front of everybody. There's no going back
camera.
to the normal clock in after that
In
shit.
4K.
None. Motherfucker would have killed you if he wasn't stopped. Hibari, I got my own guess about that, but Helmeppo also didn't really have a home. So what is their motivation to be here? I think Kujaku may just hate her grandma. So I would love to fuck where she's like yelling at her like, "Oh, you're not my grandma. Shut the fuck up." Like I took this to get away from you. Like that's why my dad died.
We gotta hear this
because
here.
you weren't
The
strong
next
enough
scene's
to
a Shanks
protect him.
scene. We gotta hear this with Shanks too. God damn. The end of One Piece, where all the parental shit they've been pushing for 25 years comes to a head. Not
It just stops with
I'm your
Luffy
real
and
dad.
Dragon looking at each other. It's like, hey, Dad.
He may be your dad, but he ain't your pa.
It's Shanks is his paw.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Shout out Guardians of the Galaxy.
Tell us what Tell us what you guys think. Who's your guys' favorite swordman? I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Usually it's gonna be Kobe. I get it.
I don't know. I think Kobe's pretty mid. I think we can all agree. Write in the comments if you're gonna rank them. Rank the sword members. Rank the sword members in the comments. Rank the ones you know.
He must have missed the honesty impact, guys. Sorry about that.
No, the Kobe video is gonna come out maybe tomorrow, 2 days. We'll see.
I know, but we read it in the manga.
We'll catch y'all later.
Yeah.